everyone, and welcome back to another great Super Cool Radio interview. I'm your host, as always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. And before I start talking about my guests, just a quick reminder to thumbs up this video and make sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you not miss any new interviews or episodes. I have a really cool all-original rock band from Michigan. They are Sibus. They've been releasing some really killer music and playing some really killer shows this year. In this interview, we discuss how the band came together, how they choose their set list, some of the new music they've been working on, some of the upcoming shows they have in the works, and so much more. So let's dive into this interview. Before we jump into the show, I want to tell you about our merch store on Threadless. Shop a wide variety of logos with multiple colors and sizes available for each design. Your support is greatly appreciated and helps us continue to make killer content like this episode. Please visit supercoolradio.threadless.com or the link in the description to shop now. And I got some great guests joining me at this time. They are a killer all-original rock band from Michigan. Please welcome Sibus.
What's up, guys? How you doing, Matthew?
Nice to have you guys on. I'll introduce you guys real quick. We got Cooper on lead guitar and lead vocals. We got Ryan on bass and Joe on drums.
Yep, we are. We're short one member today. Our other singer is actually a little under the weather. Wasn't able to make it to practice or this interview or quite frankly anything today, so pretty much bedridden. But we're happy to be here. Heck yeah.
I'm glad you guys are here. Very sorry to hear about your other member. I hope the person makes a very speedy recovery. So before, I know we got a lot to discuss, so before we really jump into everything, I've seen you guys have really been playing a lot of killer shows with a lot of killer bands. Who are some bands that you've performed with that people should check out?
Oh, man. One of our really good friends, Icarus Fell. They're right out of the Detroit area. Those guys are freaking killer. They put on a really good... They do some covers that they really spin to make them really unique in their own. But they also have a lot of killer originals as well. So yeah, those guys are pretty good. Yeah.
LC Banks is another one that we've played with. Played with them a couple times. They have a few originals. They got a few cover originals that are pretty cool too. Check them guys out. They have awesome harmonies. If you love harmonies, man. Oh man. There's so many. We played with so many greats.
Yeah.
Eva Under Fire is another one that we played with. That's super cool. Some People's Kids. We just played with them a couple weeks ago. They're awesome. Scarums. There's so many bands, man. We play with so many.
Yeah, the Michigan music scene is definitely popular.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely a lot of great bands you listed, and a few of at least LC Banks I've had on the show before. Really great band as well. But all of you listed really killer bands, and yeah, Detroit and Michigan in general got a really great music scene.
Absolutely.
So now, for you guys, so how did Sibus come together as a band?
Well, we've had a long road, a lot of different member changes, trying to just get something solidified. We started with the same. I mean, there's the same three people that had started the band originally, that had the same vision as everybody else that is now currently in the band, and we just kind of had to jump through some people to find the right people to fit with us. So I could tell you about all the stuff that happened, but that's not as fun to hear about that as much as it is all the cool stuff that we're doing right now with this super group that we've got. Mm-hmm. Right now we've got Joe on the drums. He's a very tenured drummer. This guy is freaking an animal. He goes and you tell him to do anything, and I swear he can do it. And do anything. And Ryan is adventuring and taking on the bass and doing some crazy stuff on that, which is super awesome.
Definitely loving it.
Yep. We are, so I would say this version of Sibus, actually, we just brought Joe on in the beginning of the year. because we were looking for a permanent drummer, and we found Joe. But other than that, this version of Sibus with this mission and then these songs, we've been going for probably about 5 years now.
Oh, yeah, no, right on. I know I've been following you guys a little bit since about last year I was introduced to you guys, so it's nice. You guys have been really killing it, releasing some really great music, playing some really great shows. So it's cool. You got your the current lineup going on right now. And it sounds like you guys are working very well together.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on. Now, for you guys, I do want to talk about, as I mentioned, you guys released some killer music. I believe 2 songs in the last about 6 months, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah. And I did want to talk about the cover first. You did a cover of Love Me to Love You featuring another guest who I've had on the show, Arianna Smith. So how did that come about?
So that song, it was something that we all really related to. We've all, kind of went through stuff like that and went through our own personal journeys of self-love and trying to find yourself, basically. And sometimes you have to let go of something that you thought might have been good in order to get something great, So relating to that aspect of things, we completely just thought that was the right song. And coincidentally enough, I was actually outside of a gas station. We got out of the car, and I was wondering, because we were going back and forth, we wanted to do a cover, but we hadn't decided on specifically which cover to do. And I got out of the gas station, and that was one of the options. And that song was playing on the radio at the gas station, and I was like, oh,
I remember him calling me.
This is it. This is the one. It's assigned. So we ended up doing that. And Arianna, we met her when she was in Frame 42. And she's just a phenomenal singer. And we thought that it would be an amazing collab to do with her. So we were like, hey, are you down to do this? And she was like, absolutely, And then we find the videographers and stuff like that. Full Send Studios, those guys killed it.
Yeah, they did.
Those guys do an amazing job.
Super nice.
Photos and videos and all sorts of stuff. So it was a great collab, and it really came together really well. Yep.
Oh yeah, it really turned out amazing, and it's definitely a sign from the universe if you about how you like listen to and determine the song at a gas station. Like that's a sign from the universe to do it.
Yep.
It looked really cool. I really liked the music video for it, and Arianna did an amazing job with the vocals as well.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to work with her again.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. So for you guys, so obviously that was a cover, but you guys also got some original music. I did want to touch upon that as well. So for you guys, especially with the current lineup right now, what's like the writing process for Sibus?
Well, the drummer and I are actually roommates right now, so we have a lot of late night shenanigans, and we'll do some stuff. But a lot of the stuff that we have on our album and stuff like that was also the product of late night shenanigans between him and I doing the same thing, So basically, there's just kind of I write a lot of the lyrics, and then our other singer also writes lyrics as well, and we both kind of write lyrics for both the songs and write harmony parts and stuff like that. We all collab on the music. Usually somebody will come with just a bass idea and say, hey, this is the rough draft version of this. Let's kind of go through and tighten it up and then add some stuff here and there, and that's pretty much how everything collectively comes together. But it usually starts with an idea, and they're like, holy crap, let's do this. Let's work on this right now.
Sometimes they're bad ideas, though.
They don't always work out. 2 hours through it,
we need to read.
Yeah.
Well, at least at some point you do realize it's a bad idea. It doesn't matter how many hours is wasted on it.
Yeah.
But it's really awesome, especially obviously rooming together. You got a lot of time to come up with and bounce off ideas off one another and that kind of stuff to really kind of flush out the ideas and find the good ideas in songs and all that stuff.
Yeah,
for sure. And so I know before this interview you mentioned that Ryan recently switched to bass. Ryan, how was there any kind of like shift or kind of learning curve with that?
There is, yeah. I would say there is. As far as like, for me playing guitar and playing rhythm and stuff, it's not so much scales and things like that. I mean, there is some scaling and stuff like that in our songs that I do, but it's more of like me and Cooper kind of switch back and forth. You know, he takes a lot of the hardcore leads, but I have like this undertone stuff, which I don't do anymore. So I never really played any of like the verses. I would play something, you know, methodic, and so now going back to that and going back to like the basics, basically, it's so sometimes I'm like, oh man, I trip a little bit, but I'm totally getting it. I'm totally into it. I've been practicing for 2-3 hours a day, every day for the last, I don't know, month or so that this is kind of inspired. I went right out as soon as we had a call for a bass player. I went right out to Guitar Center and I was like, hey, I need to pick out a bass. And I picked it out, went home, and I played it, and these guys loved it. So it was like, all right, it just kind of stuck. So I was like, heck yeah, let's go for it. You know.
What bass did you pick up?
I got a Schecter.
Very nice, very nice. And Ryan, real quick, and then I will move off of this topic. But what's been like the hardest song to relearn on bass?
Oh geez, I was actually just talking about it a little bit ago. Is
Good question.
Probably Behind These Walls. There's a lot of tricks and stuff in there that some of the previous bass players have done, and I haven't quite got them down, but I'm getting them down. I need a little bit more practice, but it's coming together. It's coming together quick.
Well, it's good. I'm glad you're going through that process, put in the work to learn stuff on bass. I do hope you definitely get Behind These Walls soon.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it.
Of course. All right. So I did want to touch on, you guys got some more killer shows coming up throughout 2023. You guys are opening for Three Dog Night, Drowning Pool, Taproot, to name a few. How does it feel to be on these bills with these legendary bands?
Blessed.
Yeah, facts.
Blessed for the opportunity, because, dude, absolutely, at the end of the day, we do what we do to help other people. So like, that's a lot of people. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a thrill. Like anybody that gets on stage, there's a thrill. It's not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, we get in front of those crowds. We get in front of people because we write music that is dear to our hearts and that like is real life stuff that we went through. So if there's people out there that can relate to anything that we're saying or that we're singing about or anything, that's what our whole goal is. So we want to be in front of as many people as possible so we can help as many people as possible.
Yeah, the best thing is when you play a really good show and everybody is interactive, and they come up to you and they're just like, oh man, that song really got me, and then you can really unpack it and tell them, hey, this is why I do this. Thank you so much, and that's amazing to us.
So yeah, that's definitely, I would say, blessed, because we get to be in front of a lot of people and hopefully help a lot of people with our music. So that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's that connection with the crowd and the audience, and that one-on-one time you get, when you talk to them after the show or before the show or something like that. And it's just that connection. It really builds, especially with that live energy. It's an energy exchange between the crowd and the performers. To really get that going is incredible to see.
Absolutely,
Definitely.
Yep.
For sure. And so obviously we talked about you guys opening for some really great bands. Are there any bands that you'd like to open for that you haven't yet?
Oh yeah.
The ones we dream about.
I guess I'll just say my favorite, and we'll say I Prevail. I Prevail is on the list, dude, because that's probably one of my favorite bands. I Prevail.
Yeah.
That's what do you think?
I want to play for Korn. I don't know why. I want to play for Korn. they would put us into the grave, but hey man, their stuff is amazing to me.
Yeah, Korn is good.
Yeah, I was gonna say Five Finger Death Punch would be.
Five Finger would be really cool.
Yeah,
Five Finger would be cool.
Ivan seems like a bad mofo. That dude seems pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Lead singer. Yeah.
Definitely some really cool bands. I would say my personal suggestion for you guys would be Bolt from a Valentine. I think that would be an awesome show with you guys.
Volbeat. Yep.
Yeah.
Crown the Empire probably be a good one. Atreyu, new stuff.
Atreyu would be cool. Atreyu would be
That would also be really cool. There's, with you guys, there's obviously like you're more on like the hard rock side, but also you guys throw in some different elements and stuff where you can open for a pretty wide range of bands and not just like a specific genre.
We noticed that with all the booking and stuff that happens with us. We have a lot of booking that they'll throw us on a whole metal thing, and it's kind of like they end up putting us in the middle, and we end up being the mellow the crowd out kind of thing, and then they get hyped again, which is cool. Or they can throw us in with, we had a couple country bands that we played with just recently.
They were country.
Not country, but they were pretty mellow, but we were the ones that kind of like
more like outlaw rock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was like
outlaw rock.
Kind of
Sorry.
like yeah, it was very unique. Very
Definitely.
Unique. They're called Possum Belly. If you guys want to check them out, those guys are pretty cool.
Possum Belly, that's right. But we were kind of the ones that hyped everybody up at that show. So it does flip flop, and it's cool to see. It's cool to see that the promoters that are around here are paying attention to that, and they're like, "Hey, this would fit really well here." So.
And again, for you guys, you have that dynamic where you can be the mellow band or you could be the hard rock band, depending on just the way it's booked and the show and the music that's also being performed that night. So it's kind of cool. You guys are in a really good spot for you can again open for a lot of different bands.
Definitely.
Thank you. Yeah.
For sure. And I did want to talk about just one more aspect. Actually, I had two more questions about the live show. But for you guys, what is your favorite song to perform live?
Oh, that might vary between the three of us.
I'm gonna have to think about it. I choose last.
Probably okay. So this is something I'm not gonna give away. I'm not gonna give away the whole thing, but I will say that a lot of times our set has a theme, and the theme of our set is "fuck that bitch." So, with that being said, I would probably have to say the biggest "fuck that bitch" song that seems to be my favorite is probably "Where I Belong." It seems slow and it's kind of more mellowed out, but that one, I would start, we play a little bit differently on stage live. We use an acoustic guitar and kind of break things down a little bit and get more personal. And normally I'd be like, this lady hurt me or whatever, and go on the whole spiel and tell why I wrote this song. But I got tired of that stuff, and we all got tired of that shit. And we're just like, you know what? Say it with me, fuck that bitch. Right. And you just gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, And it kind of caught on like wildfire, and everybody kind of likes that now, and now it's kind of the thing for the set. So that one kind of represents "fuck that bitch" the most. I feel like that one probably.
It is a great song to play. It is fun to play, and especially I've been switching to bass specifically for that song because it's acoustic driven. I don't have to play the electric at that point, so. That is a fun song for me. I was gonna say the same, but if that song hits me the most as well. If I had to choose, as far as fun wise on stage for me, I love it when Lisa, our other singer, sings "All of Me," and it's a banger of a song. We all start out our backs to the crowd, and then we hit it hard, and then we're just moving the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time on that song. And she gets so into it, and she's really interactive with the crowd, and it's a great song. It's a great song. It's very great lyrically. It's got screams in it. I do screams as well.
That one's about drug addiction.
Yeah, drug addiction, yeah.
For me, I'm stuck between "All of Me" and three of them. "All of Me," "Walk Away," and "Broken" are my three favorites.
"Walk Away" and "Broken" are two that are not released yet. They're on the set. You can hear them live, but we have not had them released on recording.
Hopefully soon.
So I would say, I think I agree with you the most. I think "All of Me" is, we kind of come together when we intro that song. So we kind of have a big intro, and it's just a blast to play. Everybody gets into it. It's got a good message, and I think that's one of the ones we play the best.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No, all really great answers, great explanations behind them. And I did want to talk about, so how do you talk about including some songs that have not been released yet, but you guys perform them live. So how do you build the set list for each show? Do you have a pretty standard set? Do you change depending on who you're performing with?
Grab it. So we have this giant whiteboard that we look at while we're playing. This is like our set list, and then all of our cover stuff on this side. And we plan it out accordingly. Like if we have a half an hour show, we'll cut some songs out. And we do have every song is timed out accordingly. So we know exactly where it's going to be. So if we have any talking points or anything, we'll fit those in as well. So
absolutely. We also try to to take every song and position them accordingly by the way that it makes you feel and an experience as a whole. Like, so if you're gonna go on a roller coaster, you know what I'm saying? It kind of you want to know how it's going to make you feel as a whole experience, and we kind of look at that as well. Like, where is it going up? Is it going down? You know, are we gonna try to drop the mood here? And so we think about that aspect as well when we're putting songs in position.
And it's very in depth for sure. It's very time consuming to do this.
Well, you're the first band I've interviewed who has a whole whiteboard of all their songs. So I mean, I was not expecting that.
Only ones you just don't know.
Yeah. We're just the first to show you on a whiteboard. Yeah.
That's true. That is true. But no, you guys are very meticulous with how you do it, and obviously you plan it out very well that you can fit all the songs you want in the time that you guys have, including covers, talking points, and other things like that as well.
Yeah,
it's very cool. Thank you so much for showing me that. But real quick, do you have a favorite cover song to perform live?
Riot.
Riot's been my favorite.
3 Days Grace. Yep, we play Riot. And everybody seems to love that one. That's what's fan favorite. They all know that one and love it and sing along and stuff. Because who doesn't want to get drunk and rowdy in the middle of a venue,
Very true. Very true. All right. So as I'm kind of wrapping up, I do got a few more things to touch on. You guys, again, as I said, you guys performed a lot of cover shows. Got some more cover shows on the way. Are there any venues you've not performed at that you really want to?
Yeah, we're working on getting into the machine shop over in Flint. We've got, I wouldn't say there's anything necessarily in the works right now, but I would say that we're in contact with the owner, and we're trying to just wait and see if there's a show that got an open slot. Just hop on there. That's really all we were waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple. The Orbit Room, isn't that something you were wanting to play?
Yeah, it's closed. Bro.
Oh, not the Orbit. What's the one that you said? I'm confusing it. What's the one you said that was? There was one that you brought up the other day. You said,
it's probably 10 bells, but that's close too.
oh my gosh, it's old.
Man, it's COVID though. We don't know what's open and what's not.
We're can we play here? Wow.
Is the pyramid scheme still going?
That's what it
The
was.
pyramid scheme? I think the pyramid scheme was one of the ones we wanted to get into. I don't know if they're open or not, but that is one that we want.
It's open, yeah.
We want to, I think we do have a show book there.
Do we?
July 7th.
Oh man, there's so many.
we want to get into every level of the intersection. We're playing with Taproot in the elevation, but we've hit the stash.
We've hit the stash.
We
filled the stash. The stash was fun.
Yep, that was really cool.
We played that with Default.
Yep, the elevation's going to be the next step up, and the next step after that, I think, is the big one, no? I don't know.
The intersection itself.
Yeah.
Intersection itself.
The actual.
Is what it is. Yeah.
Very nice. Really great goals to work to. A lot of great venues you've listed, and I do hope you get a chance to play. I've been to the Stash and the Elevation. I haven't been to the Intersection. I know that's a huge room, but it's a cool venue. Very multi-purpose.
Very.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, right on. Really great stuff to work towards for you guys. I do hope you guys achieve that as well. So as I'm kind of wrapping up this interview, non-music question coming up. So actually, or you can make it music, depending on how you feel. What is one thing in life you want to try that you haven't yet?
I want to skydive.
What?
I hate you.
I want to skydive.
My answer.
Well, I have a philosophical thing about it. I want to skydive because, I feel like everything that, and kind of like my whole energy as a person, everything that is Cooper Hewitt is like, just when you see your fear, just run toward it and run through it. Because that's when you're going to find greatness. You know, like Will Smith said, he did his skydiving interview, and he was talking about how everybody was scared shitless, and they were looking at the edge, and they're like, I'm looking down at death, but then they jumped, and it was the most beautiful thing in their whole entire life, and they're floating, you know, flying. And it was so, like, face your fears, and just that's a physical manifestation of that. I'd love to do that, I think. Yeah.
That's a really good answer. I like that, and the philosophy behind it. That was good. I like it.
I was gonna say the first thing was skydiving, but the reason was way less complicated. I just feel all the reason to jump out of a perfectly good plane. It seems cool to me. It seems fun to me.
He loves everything dangerous. Watch out.
Yeah, if there's a potential for me to get hurt, I'm usually there. Yeah. I also would like to jump a motocross bike off a ramp, off a cliff with a parachute.
Yeah, that'd be
Mission
cool.
Impossible style.
I'll watch you. That's not me.
The new Mission Impossible movie that Tom Cruise is filming, he did that stunt 12 times in a row.
And that's why we don't let him watch movies.
Yeah, he gets these crazy ideas.
You have to shut the TV off after a certain time. It's like gremlins with food. You know?
If I start building things,
Yeah.
it's usually when they gotta step in.
What about you, man?
My gosh, there's so many things I want to do. I would say my most favorite thing that I would love to do would be, I like to explore stuff. I would love to get to a point where I can go to Canada and go backcountry backpacking and do some portaging, and I like everything nature and just calm and chill, which is completely opposite of what we're doing. But at the end of the day, that's really what I love to do, and just do some kayaking and hang out up there and check out some of the Indian reservations and stuff would be super cool in the mountains and clear waters, and yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds very peaceful and relaxing, actually. I mean,
not as exciting as these guys, but hey, it's something, you know?
No, I got you, man. That all really great answers. For me, I actually haven't answered this one. I want to real quick. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those huge like monster trucks, like the 10-foot tall monster trucks.
Yeah.
I want to drive one of those one day.
Yeah, awesome.
That would be fun.
You just gotta find another like a truck to drive over top of. Also,
Yes,
that's part of it. It's part of the deal. You gotta crush something else.
exactly. I gotta crush all the smaller vehicles in front of me. So if anyone has a monster truck and they're letting me in, you let me borrow it for just, a few hours or weeks or months, whatever. Hit me up.
Right.
All right, back to you guys as I'm wrapping up this interview. What are the plans for Sibus for the rest of this year?
Oh, boy.
We are recording some music. We've got new singles coming out. One of those is one of the ones that we play in our set. I guess I'll spill the name now. It's called The Old Me.
Yeah.
It's called The Old Me, and it's about to come out pretty soon here within the next month or so. We're getting ready to start promotion for that, and so everybody can see it and hear it and hopefully like it. And just remember, fuck that bitch. And, yeah, we're going to hit it hard this year. We're going to play with Taproot and Leave Under Fire. Heart Sick is also playing that show. We got Drowning Pool coming up. We're just going to try to make as many good impressions as we can and just keep moving forward and doing what we do best, and that's playing music.
Yeah.
Right on. I like it. And for anyone who is curious and wants to check out and learn more about you guys, where's the best places to find you guys online?
SibusRocks.com. That is SIBUS rocks as in rocks.com.
We're on all other social media platforms as well.
Yep, you can look us up on Facebook, or
TikTok,
Instagram.
Yep.
Sibus
Official.
Yeah,
Some of them are Sibus Official. YouTube is there too as well.
But it's all on the website. You can find it on there.
Yep.
Right on. I will drop some links for Sibus in the description as well. Please check out and support this great band out of Michigan. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Had a really great time chatting with you guys.
Thanks, Matthew. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Of course, for Ryan, Cooper, and Joe of Sibus, I'm your host as always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.
Yeah.